whole Sister Frozen thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
The which
really.
person Frozen?
You were gonna talk about Frozen.
Yes, I was going to talk about Frozen. Are we rolling again?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so no, the movie I was thinking of, like one thing was a great example, like of a girl who kind of like rises to the occasion. She's like, the Asia Joan of Arc, like she's going to battle, right? And that's a lot of what we are doing. Like I feel like
we're the Mulans of today.
Yes, we are the Mulans of today. But I was also thinking like Frozen. So that was the movie I was thinking of, because they're sisters, and it's a sisterhood, and then in the end they work to like rescue themselves, right? Instead of like waiting to be rescued and where is my Prince Charming? I mean, we were talking earlier about he for she, and I'm like, yes, that is very necessary for guys to be a part of this movement. But I think we're gonna do a hashtag now, me for me. And then I said, that's my philosophy, because I think for girls, and the point of Glam-it and GlamPact is that we empower women, help them realize their full potential, because when you help a girl sort of realize her potential, she's her own best advocate and best asset. So then she has the power to really do more good and spread positivity to her loved ones, her friends, the world at large. And it's really like, me for me sounds selfish, but it's kind of like, if you don't help yourself, who will? And it's actually very empowering. Like,
it really is.
It really is.
It really is. I mean, because it's so, at least the way I was brought up, it was always someone before me, everyone else before me. And it seems to actually be a global pattern.
Yeah.
Not as many women that I come across say, I was raised to put myself first, to go and create something or make something. It was always somebody's going to take care of you, or that's sort of the path, and then halfway there the world starts changing and things are happening.
But even worse, we were stuck with this. Like, we have to be, it's not enough to be beautiful and successful. We're really having to, be everything to everyone. Like, I think all of us are like forced to play these roles and change up depending on who we're talking to. So like for my parents, for example, they were always saying like, not only do you have to, do this, do that, you have to date the right guy, you have to, everything was kind of spelled out for us, whether by our parents, whether by society. Like, this was the way to get ahead. And now I think we're writing our own rules, our own rule book. Right? And it's like, it's not Girl Scouts anymore, it's like the F tribe. Right?
That's right.
I'm joining your tribe.
Yay!
Yeah, so we had chieftains.
Chieftains!
So cool.
Wow.
Chiefesses. No, but like, all joking aside, like, it's like really realizing that as millennials, a lot of our bonds, like, sometimes I look at my team now that I'm building with Glam-it, we're ramping up slowly. I feel like they're family. And some people asked me before, like, oh, millennials, they like come and go at the jobs, and we have had turnover. I mean, that's natural for any startup. But if you can have them with you on the journey that they're supposed to be with you on for that part of it, just be grateful for what they can contribute, and try to, the right people will join you if they have shared values and shared vision.
That's I think what is so beautiful about our generation, that it's not about the money anymore.
No.
It really is about something else. I mean, money is important, but there's a broader vision, mission that everyone wants to be. They realize they want to be part of something greater than themselves.
Yes.
Take care of themselves, but be something that you feel in community, that you're creating.
Yes.
And it's beautiful.
You're creating value somehow. It's not just like cha-ching, like some people.
Although the cha-ching is good.
The cha-ching is definitely good. Like, actually, sometimes people say, like, there's like so many problems in the world. Like, why are you, doing what you're doing? And I'm like, this is my way. I think through entrepreneurialism and building up a brand, a very ethical one, that I can spread more good. Whether it's to my customers, and now they can like, do their makeup anytime, anywhere, like you, before, interviewing me. We both did our makeup before. But no, I mean, seriously, like, giving them, like, I wanted girls to feel like, okay, this is my secret beauty weapon, my best friend. I'm ready to take on challenges in life. And so I was selfish, sort of, because I invented this as much for me as for them, or maybe for the former me. Because, coming on this journey so far, and knowing it's only going to be harder ahead, I mean, I think I said this to you earlier, but it's like we've done a lot. I mean, you've done a lot. Like IBM, like, you know, your career path, and now like your journey around the world. It's very inspiring, and yet it's kind of like, where do we have to go but up? And it's scary because you're looking down and you're like, wow, I came back from that, and yet like, and where are we going? It's like kind of like, where are we going to and why? And we're all asking ourselves this question, right? And I think we're just all out to change the world.
We are, and I love what you're saying about basically changing the world with what we love from our heart. With something. It doesn't, there's no right or wrong. There's no wrong way. I'll say that. There's no wrong way, I think, if you're coming from a good place in your heart, to change the world. And there are so many problems, but there's so many areas in ourselves that if for example, it's not in you to dedicate your entire life to figuring out a prescription for cancer to cure it, then you ought to not do it, because if you do it, you'll be resentful, you won't enjoy it, and you won't give your best. But when you are giving from your heart, you're coming from a good place, I think that's the best way to make the world a better place, because you're promoting honesty, you're promoting truth. And something like makeup can be so transformative in terms of, because you're basically accentuating your beauty.
Your existing beauty.
Your
makeup shouldn't be a mask.
And you know what?
It should just.
And you know what is actually this me for me concept? It's actually doing something
nice for myself.
Because actually, I've had people say, "Oh, you must dress so nicely for your husband. This is why you do it," or whatever reason. And actually, if I've ever dressed nice, if I've ever put on makeup and fixed my hair, it's not for other people.
It's for yourself.
It's a gift for me.
Yeah.
And even in terms of how I put on my makeup or what makeup I put on my face, it's so
your choice,
to me.
And it's your choice,
and it's part of a ritual that I have with myself.
And it's like, makeup is such a personal thing. So like sometimes like these guys in the industry are like, oh, how is this beauty and technology? I'm like, this is technology that delivers my beauty seamlessly. And I really hated, like, before makeup shopping, when the brands had the palettes all dictated for me. It would be like, oh, this is what looks good on you. I'm like, no, it's not. And I want every girl to know, like, you can be your own makeup artist. You don't have to have one following you around everywhere, right? And the other thing is that, like, it's completely, like, you can choose what colors go in here. Like, you can pop them out, you can change. One of the things I
really like that, because I mean, I actually have looked at things in this way, even in makeup. Yeah. I know Bobbi Brown does something similar, and but they don't have everything
all in one, right?
It's like, I have this 4 square eyeshadow thing. And I like it because I get to choose my own colors, and that's one of the things I really liked about yours. And yours has everything in there. Yeah. Even the brushes and everything you need, and a light.
And the light.
And a mirror. Because that's sometimes really difficult, depending on where you are.
This is why, actually, I think every girl deserves a little bit of glam. Because when I look into this, I feel happy. It's kind of like rose tinted. And it just gives me a little lift. Like, between meetings, I'm like, okay, I look okay. Yes.
And good lighting always makes you happy.
Yes.
I think so.
It does. And it's not like fluorescent lighting.
Because I really don't like fluorescent lighting.
I hate fluorescent lighting.
It makes everyone look horrible.
Everyone looks green. Yeah. Like,
everyone looks
like a little bit sick, or like yellow or jaundiced. I agree. Jaundiced. Yeah, it's true. So I mean, but it all comes down to, like, each girl's choice, and then I realized that that's actually what unites Glam-it and me, and I'm intrinsically tied to this brand. It's like, we deserve to choose our lives. We deserve to choose what we put on our skin. We deserve to choose what makes us beautiful, and then you would know, I would know, she would know. And it's this,
and it's for us.
Yeah. And it's not manifest destiny. It's not like, oh, such and such big beauty brand says this is what it is.
The color.
This is the color.
No, I really appreciate it, because one of the things that I think is really important is to maintain our individuality.
Yeah.
And so being able to select the colors and being practical and being able to take it away. It's really...
Although my team will give you guidance and you know, we have like pamphlets and how-tos and everything. And I think since makeup is such a personal thing, some of the names actually were really personally named after girls who've inspired me as well. And there was one shade in there, it's not in this one, it's called Don't Dye It. It's a bronzer. And bronzers bring out your cheekbones more, but your bone structure, if you highlight around here, it can make you look more thin and angular. But the reason why we named it Don't Dye It is it's a double pun. It's like, don't dye it, but also don't die yet. Because the media always, like, you know, barrages us with like all these images of, you know, only thin women are beautiful or only curvaceous women are beautiful. And growing up, I saw my curvier friends, like, you know, told to go on diets. And then for me, they would be like, eat something. And I'm like, I'm eating, you know? And I felt like we should all like kind of celebrate who we are.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. And
beautiful.
especially, you know, in Asia, having all the conversations that I have had in Asia with so much plastic surgery,
Oh my God.
so many women having so many image problems.
Yeah.
I think understanding a philosophy of you are good enough.
You're good enough.
And you're perfect.
Yeah.
And just, you know, actually you can achieve the accentuation of your beauty.
Yes.
With a little bit of help. Sure, fine.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go under the knife.
And then when people say, like, I mean, I know in Korea they say like if you go out without makeup, it's considered rude. So they actually like.
Is it really considered rude?
In some of the offices, they send a woman back if they don't wear makeup or enough makeup. So for me, I would wear makeup before to like look older or change myself with the roles, and then I would like, oh, this is really useful. So it was really my toolkit. But for now, I think, you know, it, like I said, it shouldn't be a mask. It should be you, only like what you'd like to express.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like kind of taking your freedom, you know, to do what you want into your own hands, and you know,
and to feel like you have the tools to do it.
Yeah.
Because your face is definitely very central.
Yeah.
So okay, well, switching
gears.